Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Fred and Friends. I'm your host, Fred Schultz, and tonight we're going to be talking WCPL St. Louis, and what a great time we had. Matter of fact, I am still coming down off that. I had such a terrific time, and what made it so good was, the tournament was great. I love playing paintball, but seeing a lot of my old friends is the best of the best. I just can't even begin to tell you how cool that is. I absolutely love it. And you know what? How many tournaments you go to? You have Bud Orr there, War Game Products. Gino. Gino from Velkin showed up there. Him and David Bell. David Bell, View Loader. I mean, these guys were very, very cool. And Jim Lively. Now, Jim hasn't been to one of these events or any event, obviously, in a lot of years. Back in the day, when I get my shout outs, I talk a little bit about Jim. I think it's pretty cool. He's a very good guy, and I was so very, very glad to see him show up there. So a couple of things I want to mention before I give my shout outs here real quick is, we've been working very hard to get the Maui Misfit Minis from Hawaii here. Obviously, everybody knows about the fires that happened there in Maui, and that kind of sucked. I don't know what was going on. And something too, I've noticed we are not, for some reason, picking up here like we should. What is going on with this? Let's not hope somebody hacked me again now. That would really suck. Yeah. Wow, that's very interesting. I got it going. I got one person chimed in and then it stopped. Very interesting. Well, let's keep going. So, I can't jump back on and see what's going on with this thing right now. Anyhow, and then we had Marcus Davis and Bart Farmer come all the way from the UK to play paintball with us, which I thought was outstanding. And then on top of that, we had Neil Martin, which you're going to get to see Neil Martin here tonight, all the way from Australia. He came here and he played paintball with us, and we just had a great, great time. But back to the Maui Misfits. You guys get a chance, jump on Maui Misfits or Chris Sierra, and they're taking donations. They really need a hand to get over here so that they can play Cup. They're a great group of kids, and everybody knows we really want to push the youngsters because that is paintball. That's all there is to it. You got to absolutely love them. And then real quick, Oliver Whitecloud is laying and Alex Frazier. They're having their 1-versus-1 and the finals this weekend down at SC Village down in LA. So if you get a chance, even if you're not competing, which you probably aren't because this is all the regional winners, go down and check it out. Let's support it. Let's support paintball all the way down the line. And then I want to congratulate the Ironmen. They took first place, not just in the St. Louis Classic, but they took first place in the overall. And we've got Dirk, the captain of the OG Ironman, on here tonight, which is going to be pretty cool. We're going to talk to him a little bit. And Toxic Teddies took second, NSG third, and Team Fox took fourth. And it was such a good time. It really was. And, we had an incident there. We're going to talk just a little bit about the incident because I don't want to get too much into the negative. I want to really concentrate on the positive because, you don't build paintball with negatives. You don't build anything with negatives, period. But you build a lot with positives. So that's what we're going to do. And so let me give my shout outs real quick. And then I've got a great, great cast out here tonight. You're going to absolutely love these guys. I've had a few of them on before, but I've got a young lady on tonight that it's her first time. Very articulate and looking very, very much forward to talking to her too. So let me start my shout outs real quick. I always start each week with Tim Schloss. Why? Because he's probably my best friend in paintball, has been for 150 years, long time. He has Gateway Paintball, where we just actually had the last of the WCPL of the year. It was the last event of the year, and we all had a great time. Absolutely loved it. Could have been a little warmer. Us California guys were like shaking like Don Knotts out there because it was a little chilly. And all the Eastern guys are laughing at us, but it is what it is. It was 91 here today, so I'll take that all day long. But anyhow, Tim has a great field, had a great layout, everybody had a great time. What he's done for this field and what he's done for the WCPL is absolutely fantastic. And then Dan and John Colby, Immortal Air, been my sponsors for 30 some years. Mr. Bud Orr was actually there at the event. Absolutely very, very cool. I can't figure out why nothing is pulling up on here. What is going on live here? I don't know. Bill, maybe you could take a look and see what's going on with this. I can't figure it out right now. I don't know. And anyhow, and then Mr. Tom K, Airgun Designs, Rainey and Juvie Boucher. And I mentioned last week, Rainey and Juvie Boucher had paintball news back in the day. There's 2 times a month you could go out to your field and pick up paintball news. The player didn't have to pay a penny for it, but it told you what just happened, what big games were, what was coming up, what was for sale. Had a map of all the fields in the U.S. It was absolutely cool. It was like the Bible of paintball. Very, very cool. And Juvie's not doing very well right now. That is Rainey's wife. So, our prayers go out to both of them, actually. What they did for paintball back in the day is absolutely tremendous. And the people on this list that I mention every week, there's a reason I mention them. They deserve it. They worked so hard at the very beginning to make paintball what it is today. And like I say, our prayers go out to them. And then Randy Camilla, he was the editor for APG back in the day, did an awful lot for paintball. Jerry Braun had Paintball Sports magazine back in the day, and he has Paintball Sports Field in New York right now. And I gotta tell you, I love the online stuff. I think it's great, but there's nothing like picking up a magazine and reading it, setting it down, and just having it to collect. I got a collection of paper magazines that I just absolutely love. So that's something I actually miss just a little bit. Don't really understand it, but it is what it is. And then Ross Alexander was my very first marker sponsor back in the day, Line SI. I still have my original Bushmaster up here. We started playing pro. It was 15 man, and still a great marker, a great pump. I absolutely loved it. And then Jim Lively, like I said, Jim Lively, there was 2 tournaments back in the day you wanted to do. One was the Masters in Tennessee. The other was Jerry Brown's World Cup in New York. It was like a homecoming. It's kind of like the vision that we have for the WCPL, that when you go to these events, you're going to see all your friends that you've made over the years and new friends you get to meet. But you're all at the same place at the same time. And if it wasn't for paintball, you probably wouldn't meet like that. So, that's something very, very special about paintball. And a lot of people miss that point. They miss that entirely. Me, I go to these events. Do I love paintball? Well, of course I love paintball. What do you think I'm doing all of this for? I love paintball big time. But I really think that when I go to these events, I'm a winner already because all my friends are there and I get to talk to them and hang out with them and yuck it up, man, with them. That's something I absolutely love. I really, really do. So playing paintball is like an added plus to having fun, but getting to meet my friends is absolutely great. And then I got to mention Gino from Belkin. We shot Gino's paint this weekend, and I shot it at my tournament we had out here a couple of months ago. Shot bullets, just absolutely great. He worked very, very hard to get this thing nailed down. And, until you've made a paintball, don't criticize it. There is so much involved that it's just amazing how much is involved to do all of this. It really, really is. And his paint shot great, and he took the time to come down there and hang out with us for a couple of days down there at the WCPL. Very, very cool. Absolutely loved it. Gino's a good guy and does an awful lot of things behind the scenes for paintball. That's why I have to mention him every week. Just a great guy. And then I have to mention my 2 little young guns, Jaden Gong and Mark Gong Jr. I hooked up with the Hermans. Mark Gong is actually the tip of the spear. A couple of years ago, him and his 2 sons went out for Father's Day and a birthday. And he called me up and they had such a good time. I put him on the show and we started talking about it. And there was only them. And then next thing I know, another parent got a hold of them and wanted to come out and practice with them. Now they have like a family. You go out there when they practice and they play. I mean, all the parents are there having a good time. They're barbecuing. They're having a great time. And then I get calls from all across the U.S. about, well, I've got a kids team. We're working on putting a kids team together. And I think that is absolutely great. But I go back to the very beginning, and that was a couple years ago, and that's with Mark Gong. He really had the initiative to get this going with his kids, and I absolutely love it. So anyhow, I said my shout outs. I said what I want. Like I said, we're going to talk just a little bit about a problem that we had at the WCPL. I don't want to get too deep into it because I want to concentrate more on the positives. Like I say, positives build, negatives, they don't build, period. And plus tonight, I've got the winner of not only the Classic, the St. Louis Classic, but the series, the entire thing. Dirk Gadberry's with me tonight, too, from the OG Ironman. And I know these guys work their butts off all year long to do it. And it's absolutely cool. And, the Toxic Teddies with Jacob Easter and them, they came in second in the series, too. And they worked their butts off, too. So, my hat's off to everybody. I just absolutely love it. So, without further ado, I'm going to start with bringing in Mr. William Bailey. I got to tell you.
I got a bear.
Where's your glasses?
We got a bear.
Yeah, there you go. How you doing this evening, Bill?
Good. Recuperating.
Yeah, that's the word, all right, I guess. You know what, Bill? None of my stuff is popping up on here.
Yeah, it's coming up on the big screen, on everything else. It's showing everybody chiming in and everything.
Yeah, no, I can't get it. Paul Farrell was the first one, said, "Hi, Fred." Boom, everything stopped.
Yeah, there's Bon Chick, James Dauphin.
Oh, yeah, I know. Gino's probably watching. Yep. Oh, Rick's watching. Oh, Rick Sandejas, what a great guy. Yeah. That kid is one heck of a player, let me tell you. Yeah. I got to tell you, I just, Dirk knows about him. He's, he just doesn't look like he gets any older. That's the problem.
I don't think so.
I tried to find out what he's drinking so I could get a drum of it or something poured all over me. I don't know, man.
It's either that or he photoshops his Facebook page.
Well, I see him in real life, though. I don't know how he does that. Yeah. So I guess I don't know. But anyhow, we got some good guys on tonight to talk about this. We've got Kenny Stewart from the General Paintball Museum. We got Kevin Donaldson, one of the owners of the WCPL. Yep. And we have, oh God, I'm going to butcher this. Please forgive me. We have Jackie. Oh my God.
Jackie.
Dear, yeah, I know. Dear, yeah, Bukowski. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll hear about it. I love you, Jackie. Sorry. Hey, look at I don't even say Gino's last name. It took me a year to say Posterrivo.
Just think
Posterrivo. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know. And he's gonna be texting me in a minute. Thank God my phone's in the other room. He's gonna go, Fred. All right. So anyhow, I want to bring these guys out real quick. I'm gonna start. I want to bring out Kenny Stewart, General Paintball Museum. How you doing, Kenny?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing terrific, man. And we're going to bring out Mr. Kevin Donaldson. I got him drinking. I like that. Yeah. Mountain Dew. Oh, man, that'll jack you up. You know that?
Breakfast for chicken.
Yeah, it is. Oh, man, I drink a bottle of that. I'm up on the table dancing. Anyhow, yeah, I can't dance. I can't even get up on the table. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyhow, that's another story. That's a whole different show. And now I want to bring out Dirk Gadberry, the OG Ironman captain.
What's up, fellas?
The winner. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. I think you were up on the table there at that Holiday Inn, weren't you?
Oh,
Saturday night.
They weren't taking pictures, were they?
Yeah. No.
Oh man, because my belt broke. That's why my pants fell. Oh God. Anyhow, we won't get into that right now. But I've got a very special guest, guys. I'm going to bring her on. She's going to make us all look bad. That's the only bad part about bringing on a girl. Nobody looks at the guys anymore. But anybody, everybody, please welcome Jackie D. Jackie? How do you pronounce your last name?
Derepkusky.
Wow, that's simpler than I thought it was. Man, I said it about 50 different ways before the show. None
It
of
was
them
cool
sounded
listening
right.
to you try.
Wow. Well, you know what? We're very, very happy that you are joining us here tonight because you attended the WCPL tournament there in St. Louis and you played with the Valkyries. Am I correct?
I did. That is correct.
Yep. You know, I got a question for you, because everybody else has been on this show before. And one of the first questions I always ask them is, how did you get started in paintball? So I'm going to hit you with that right off the bat before we get into the actual show itself.
All right. I picked up my first paintball marker in 2011. It was a group of people going out for a party at a field. I didn't really have that much fun. And then my friend Kevin, people call him Scruffy, took me out about 6 months later, and he's like, just try this. Kill a Saturday. I wasn't doing anything else. And found out I had a knack for it. It was a lot of fun. We started hitting up scenarios as our group. So we decided we were pretty good at that. We did that for a couple of years. And then we started playing tournaments in 2013 or early 2014. Found out that we were not as good as we thought we were. Really did some grinding for a few years. Our tournament team unfortunately fell apart, and I joined SAS Woodsball, who are just a great group of guys. If there's an SAS chapter near you, they are awesome. Took the obligatory couple of years off that I think every paintballer does at some point.
Yep.
And early last year, or actually it was July last year, Kevin calls me up and says, what do you think about shooting tournament again? And I was on this soul searching trip. I was in Oregon, in one of the most beautiful places I'd ever been. And I was like, you know what? This sounds like a sign. So we did ICPL Chicago, and that's where Howdy found me and told me about the Valkyries. So I shot St. Louis last year with them 2 weeks later. And here we are. I'm full on back into it. So
that is outstanding. Very, very good story too. And we're glad you're in paintball with us because I think you're very good for it. You're very articulate, and you guys played pretty hard. You guys made a very good showing at WCPL there.
Yeah, we had two girls who had never played tournaments before ever. So we did a pretty good job with the wonderful group that we had.
Yeah. What do you think about the tournament overall? Did you have a good time? Because you got to meet all kinds of new people, and see, to me, that's probably my biggest thrill.
The WCPL is like the family reunion of paintball tournaments. You show up to a couple and you start realizing that you know everybody. You're starting to shoot at all your old friends that you saw last year. It's very cool. The vibe is very much family reunion with a bit of like high school football game type rivalry thrown in there. And obviously having all the legends there it kind of blew my mind at first to realize who I was meeting at the original St. Louis tournament. Howdy is going around and introducing me casually to all you guys. And I'm like, whoa, like, have I walked into the Twilight Zone? This is amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You guys did very, very well. You guys played very, very well. You really did. You know what? I want to. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to jump in right now. I want to address. The only I will say hiccup in the tournament was we had to eliminate a team, and that's something I really don't like doing. But it was something that was necessary. We're trying to have a code of conduct at these things. I mean, if you want to come to these events, we expect you to come and act like ladies and gentlemen and have a good time. And, it only takes an incident to really bring down, it's like going to a party, and you got 100 people there and everybody's having a good time. You get one drunk that, is very obnoxious, and it just kind of brings down the whole mood of the entire thing. And that kind of happened this weekend, and we had to deal with it. And I actually felt kind of bad about having to do that. But maybe I could get your guys' thought. Kevin, maybe you can give me a shot at what you think. The way we handled it. I thought we handled it like we had to do it because, like I say, if you got a rotten apple in a barrel, you can't leave it there. Pretty soon, all the apples are rotten, and then you don't eat it. And we just couldn't have everybody not having a good time. So, what's your thoughts on it, Kevin? Real quick.
Well, my thoughts are, I mean, I've been playing paintball a long time, and there, certain things happen in paintball, and that's just the way it is in paintball. You got to expect to be hit. You got to expect to be bunkered, run through, hit multiple times, and all in those situations, yeah, that's paintball. When the first complaint came to me about the first incident with somebody getting stabbed apparently by a barrel in a bunker in the head, I kind of brushed it off. I said, hey, that's paintball. I said, that's part of the game. If you're going to step on the field with with us, then you have to expect that. But then we had the second time, and the second time I had to step back and say, hey, what's going on here? Yeah, and this thing just got so damn out of control that all I was getting was complaints and these guys are doing this and these guys are doing that and this is going on and that is going on. And, then suddenly, on Sunday morning when it came to a head, the last thing that I wanted was the outcome that we got. I was trying to come up with some kind of a solution that would have been better than, the outcome that obviously happened. But, throughout this whole, between Saturday late afternoon when the second incident happened, with this same team, and then some jawing went on apparently in the staging area. And then again at the hotel that night.
Well,
what?
You just hit on it right there. That's what I was going to bring up, is the hotel thing.
Me,
you can't go do that.
It got off the field into the staging area, and then back at the hotel. So, now I'm saying to myself, shit, I'm doing this a long time. I know what's going on, and I'm listening to everybody, making their threats about, what's going to happen to this particular team when they step on the field. And I'm saying to myself, this is what's going on. 5 games in the preliminaries, it's going on with teams that are, they have children on the damn teams, for Christ's sake. We're not talking about do me like that. I don't think anybody would do me or Dirk like that and not expect all of us to be ejected on the bench clearing brawl, But yeah. I was worried that this was just going to get worse and worse and worse. And when we get to the finals, it was going to be so goddamn uncontrollable that I don't know what I was going to do about it.
That's why I think, Tim made the decision he made. And, we stand behind the decision he made because, this is supposed to be a great event. Up until that incident, everybody was having a great time. And then after that incident and they were ejected, which I hated to see too. Everybody had a great time again. I asked the captains afterwards, what they thought about it, and they were all in agreement that it was handled the way it should have been handled. It just, when it rolls over, when it goes to the motels, that's a big thing because, these people there's a lot of people that probably are looking at paintball and then they see this kind of stuff going on and they're like, yeah, that's not for me. I don't need to get involved with these kind of things, and that's what I don't want. I want people to see us having a great time and really liking each other. And they're going to go, you know what? I want to be part of that. I want to hang out with these guys. This is cool. That's what building paintball is all about.
Freddie, when I approached you and Tim and everybody and put this together, I had this vision, which obviously is never going to come about, to go kind of back to not only go back in the format of play, but kind of the mentality of the OG paintball play, which was we all respected each other, man. You did your battle, but there was respect. Sure, there were the rivalries that got ugly, but that was that was what was there. I don't want the wild west at our events. I don't. You want to play at a higher level. This league was basically designed to bring new players into the game.
Yep,
Not to
absolutely.
take the pros like us. You know, I mean, when I go to those events, Freddie, I don't bring my A-line killer team because I know that it'd be unfair. It's just not the way to do it. I would not take the team I took to your event to an ICPL event. I just wouldn't
I
do it.
understand. No, I understand that.
But
And-
also, beyond that, every game that we play, we evaluate the team we're playing against, right? If I look at a team that's got children on the field, I tell my guys to tone it down. Tone it down, you know? Don't attack a bunch of 15-year-old girls like you're playing against me.
Right. No, I agree. You know, no names now. I don't want to mention any names because I'm not into that. But I want to ask Jackie. You know, you guys had a problem with the team that we're referring to right now. Did you really have any problems with any of the other teams? Can I ask you?
Not at all. And our initial problem was something that, like you said, happens in paintball. It was a real bummer. Like, it stressed some people out on our team a little bit, but it was something that happened. And when it happened the second time, that's when we were like, well, this is not okay. Like, obviously the initial instance wasn't okay either. Like, nobody wants to see something like that happen. But it is a paintball thing. And those of us that have been around for a little bit kind of know that. And after it happened the second time, we started to go, that's not that cool. How do you have the exact same type of accident twice?
Right.
And then the rumblings among the teams started and the mob grew.
Well, see, you know, and that's the, oh man, I'm so glad you said that. That is part of the big picture that we're trying to portray here tonight. Is it wasn't really just the WCPL that made this decision. It was actually a lot of the teams. They didn't come up and say, kick these guys out. They didn't say anything like that, but they were going to go after these guys in a bad way. And what we didn't want is we didn't want every game to be a brawl. That we don't need at all, period. And that's what we were afraid that it was going to happen because some of the other teams were definitely out for them, without a doubt.
It stops being fun when people actually want to hurt each other. Like,
did you have fun there though?
But it's a game.
So after that event though, did you have fun?
Oh yeah. As soon as like there was no more risk of being on the field with someone who was
I got you. Good
yeah,
enough. Yeah.
And then the atmosphere lightened up, the party came back, like everybody just kind of got out of the panic attack mode, and the whole regular vibe of the WCPL came back.
Absolutely. Dirk, I want to jump in. I'll get to you, Kenny, and Bill and Neil in just a minute. I want to try to get this out of the way because I want to start talking about positive things because I got to tell you, I am still coming down off this trip. That's how much fun I had, you know. I mean, I almost didn't take the plane back. I almost floated back here. I had so much fun. It was cool. But anyhow, that's another story. Dirk, what did you think about the whole incident? Do you think that it was handled correctly?
It's tough. You know, that's a tough call because it's something that you don't want to do, but you don't want the drama and the issues that are on the field, which is where it's supposed to happen. You know, it's supposed to be competitive and all of those things, but when it comes off the field, it starts to ruin the environment. It goes out into the parking lots and other places. That's a whole other scenario. You know what I'm saying?
And plus, you know, you got teams coming up to us and saying, you know, these guys did this to these girls, so we're going to do this to them. You know, I mean,
there's always little things that happen because we're competitive. I mean,
correct.
You know, us and the Teddies had a little bump in with each other. Things are like that are going to happen, but that's part of being, you know, competitive and in a sport. Well, the whole thing of it is you know, you talk about it, you leave it out on the field, you walk out and you go shake hands and have a good time and have a beer at the motel and enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? But that's where I didn't really know all of the story and what was going on, but I will tell you that I heard a couple little things. I was kind of late to the party, but you could tell that there was definitely a different vibe going around for some reason, and that's what it was all about. So
right,
you could feel it in the air, you know, that there was something going on. So,
and then Sunday, you know, after the incident was dealt with, I mean, everybody had a great time. I mean,
Absolutely.
not you. Yeah, you were still playing hard. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, everybody had a terrific time.
Yes,
I didn't have a
absolutely.
good time with that after that happened, because after that happened, the bye sent me home. I didn't make the finals. So, you know,
Oh, that's a shame. Anyhow, you did, yeah.
in
You know,
the
people.
long run, I got punished.
Yeah, people don't understand because because the team was eliminated, the points had to be changed around, and that took Kevin's team right out of it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but it is
Hey,
what it
Fred.
is. Yeah.
Hey, Fred, I've got one of our players. It was his first WCPL that he got to play in on Woodland Warriors. He came by to get his jersey, so I thought I'd introduce. This is Dylan Weeks.
Bill, hey, Bill, hey, come on, sit down. Take Bill's chair. Yeah, come on, get around. Take Bill's chair.
I feel official. Thank you.
No, you're going to sink down because he's a big guy.
I don't know
Oh, I
where to
guess
look.
not. You must be tall.
Must be tall.
I don't know. So,
Camera
well,
for your
let me ask you a question. This was your first tournament you played with the Woodland Warriors?
Yes, sir. First with that team and first at the WCPL. Yeah.
Was it? Did you enjoy yourself?
I had a ton of fun. Yeah. I mostly do like indoor speedball tournaments. So that was my first like out in the woods. Yeah.
What'd you think of it? Yeah, because it's definitely two different scenarios. You know, what did you think of the woods ball play?
I thought good enough about it to where I put up one of my markers for trade for a mech. So I don't have to borrow one.
There you go.
I don't have to borrow one next year.
Right on. Well, you know what? We're very glad that you're coming and joining us. I think that's absolutely terrific because one thing we're trying to do is we're trying to build this league, and to build a league is not easy. And but the whole ticket is we want to build it with the right people. We want every time that we all come together, like Jackie was saying, we come together. It's like a family reunion. We come together. Sure, on the field, we'll go out there and kick butt. But off the field, we will have a good time and just be good and kind to each other, like ladies and gentlemen really should be.
Right.
So what did you think of it overall then? Did you get to meet a lot of people while you were there?
Yeah, I'm the one who came and bought that last size large shirt from you that was on the hanger, remember, on the tent?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Did it fit?
Yeah, it fits great. I wore it yesterday.
Oh, did you? Oh, cool. Yeah, because you can put it on Bill and stretch it out if it was too small. So
I met Bud and he signed my autococker pump. So that was
very cool. Did you
yeah,
play bump in this tournament?
No, I borrowed another autococker from my buddy because I didn't know if I should play pump out there. We were already kind of at a disadvantage. We were the team with 7 bodies, so
yeah,
I wanted to play to my full potential with a mech and not a pump, but I think we did good for the cards we were dealt. Yeah.
I think you did absolutely great, and very, very cool. You jump in tonight on the show here and to say hi.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't even know it was going on.
Don't apologize. No need for that.
I showed
not
up
at all.
and came in and.
No need for that. I can't tell you how much better you look sitting there than Bill, but that's not a problem. Yeah, there you go. Right on. Well, you know what? I'm very glad to meet you. I'm very, very glad that you came and played the WCPL, and I'm very glad that Bill put you on here tonight. I think that's very cool.
I'm looking
forward
to next
and let
year.
you use his chair too, man. I mean, God.
Yeah,
I mean,
Neil,
Neil couldn't sit in that chair. Bill made him sit in the other one. I'm like, wow, that's a little stuffy.
Yeah, I'll
right on, my
when
friend.
the show's over, I'll rewatch it.
You want your entrance through the door.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Yeah. I was out doing
You look great. Yeah, you look great. No problem. Problem is we got Jackie on. She makes all of us look bad. But, once we get past that, we're okay. Yeah, I know. I would do that, too, if I was better looking. So,
you guys can get lash extensions. I mean.
I love it. Kenny, I'm getting to you right now, buddy. Now, you've seen everything that went down. What do you think? Do you think that things were handled the way they really could have been or should have been, or
Well, like Dirk said, it's a hard call. It's a
Yep.
hard call to make. It really is, because you've got these guys that have been playing through the whole series, and it's just it's heartbreaking to lose a team, but it does improve the morale when you get rid of a team that everybody agrees that may be causing some drama or issues with everybody else having a good time. So I guess at the end of the day, it did improve the morale of the event. So I guess it was the right decision to make.
yeah, it definitely did. You know, like I say, I have to stand behind Tim what he did. What I'm hoping now for in the future is, you know, first of all, I hope that we don't have to deal with this again. I hope everybody that comes to the WCPL understands that we're there to play paintball. There's no doubt about that, you know, but we're there to have a good time with a lot of friends too also. And, you know, I'm hoping that maybe eventually we can get the Magic to turn it down. I did say it. To tone it down a little bit and come back and play with us, because I would like that. I thought their captain was a great guy. He was very admirable the way he talked. And, you know, I'm just hoping that we can put this all back together and let them come back and play paintball with us again.
Look, Freddie, I want to say one last thing before we get off this topic that everybody has to understand. I'm sure the biggest decision maker, you know, on this subject with respect to Tim is he's the field owner. You know,
Correct.
he's got liability issues here. You know, he
That's
can't.
correct.
That kind of behavior can get him into a lot of trouble. You know, I mean, thank God it was, you know, the players that were injured were like family to us in the league, because, you know, there could have been a potential lawsuit there. And even if they, you sign a waiver, you do everything that you can, but, you know, as a field owner, you have to kind of look at things a little different than a promoter or a team captain or, you know, whatever hat you might be wearing that day or that event. So, you know, in Tim's defense, you know, he has things to think about when he makes decisions like this that go beyond the scope of the game.
Absolutely. But, you know, part of it was with it rolling over to the motel. You know, that's where I kind of draw the line on everything. You know, I mean, you know, the people that own the motel, you know, I mean, God, there was 100 and some people staying at that motel that were playing paintball, you know. So now everybody's looked at in a bad light because of a couple guys. That's what I don't like. Okay, that's where I draw the line. Period.
I don't like what happened, when it happened, where it happened, how many times, and I don't like the result either. You know, I just, you know, what we were forced basically to do. You know, I want to make one thing clear. You know, we say, oh, the team's ganged up and shit like that. That's really was not a decision. You know, for me, it was
not at all.
Because I've been around a long time and I've been in a lot of finals. And, you know, like Dirk will attest to this. When you get to the finals, it's a whole different level of shit, you know? And I can tell you right now that if that team had to play the Ironmen or us, and that kind of shit went on, I can guarantee you, Freddie, there would have been many hospitalized individuals.
Yeah, but not just with you though. There was other teams that they'd played that hadn't played yet, you know, that day, that were not happy about that either, you know. And we had teams coming up going, if we're going to play them, we're going to do this, and this.
Yeah,
you know, it was time to put the fire out. You don't throw gas on a fire.
No.
They were going to pull out. You know, this team's going to leave, and that team's going to this, and you know. And anybody that's watching this that's a team captain or anything that thinks they're going to mutiny and pull that shit again, or it's going to happen for no reason, don't expect that, because this is, I hope, an anomaly and never happens again.
Yeah,
you know, the teams did not make the decision for us. The entire situation forced the decision. That, you know,
the WCPL made it. We all stand together. You know that.
Yes.
Cut and dry. So, okay, that's done. You know, we're hoping that we can get this resolved in a positive manner here eventually down the road and bring these guys back and play some paintball with it. We would absolutely love that to happen. Okay, now getting back to the fun part. Dirk, you guys worked your butts off all year long. You played 2 of my tournaments out here. Matter of fact, the one you played here in Northern California, you missed first place by what, 1 point, 2 points?
Wasn't very much.
It was 1 or 2 points. It was one body.
Couple points, yeah. One body, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a lot of second places this year.
Yeah, but what did you get now?
Well, we got the icing on the cake at the end of the year. We get the first place and the series trophy,
Yeah.
so it all worked out. But yeah, it was rough getting all. I mean, we were getting second places before we were playing the WCPL or in the finals. So it's been a long time. We've been waiting for this win so it was nice.
You know who I noticed really is turned on and excited about this is Dylan.
Oh
Boy,
yeah,
Dylan's I love
Oh.
that guy. Everybody, Dylan is Dirk's son. Anyhow, he's like on cloud nine, man. When you guys wanted, he come up to me and you could just see it in his face. man.
oh yeah. Him and Pat Rader. Pat Rader's another one.
Yeah.
He
Well,
was just
you know,
in La La Land.
anybody that doesn't know this, I had a team, Constant Pursuit, and we played professional back in the day. And Dirk was on my team. Pat Rader was on my team. Yep. A lot of guys went on to different teams and actually different organizations in the manufacturing thing too. So Dirk and I, we go way back. And, Dylan is not only a heck of a player, Dylan is a heck of a kid. He is, and he's just thoughtful, period.
Yeah, it's been a long, when we came back, I guess it's been about pushing 6 years now, and we did some local stuff and got some wins and stuff. But once we started playing 10-man, that monkey off our back is good to get rid of, because it's just, we've had a hell of a time, getting a win playing 10-man, and it's just something just happens, something comes up,
Yep.
It's paintball. It's not always the best team that wins an event. Sometimes, it's the paintball gods or whatever. You know what I mean? Things happen. And
Sometimes
this
it's better to
one,
be lucky than good.
this one we were determined this one time, and we put down the throttle and never stopped. It was on. We weren't going to let it get away from us.
Yeah, I was very, very happy for you guys. It was, but the look on Dylan's face, on all of their faces, but Dylan really, he was shining. So, but you guys worked very, very hard for it too.
Yeah, and he gets to share it with his dad. So that's even more special. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Neil.
Yeah, Fred. I've got to scroll through the Iron Man. I watched the Iron Man a lot in the mid to early 90s, and some of those games I watched on the weekend, it was a flashback. Like 28 years ago.
Back then, I had Constant Pursuit and the Ironman. That's who we practiced against on the weekend. Was us. We practiced against the Ironman, Black Sunday. There was a few of us there, Dirk.
Oh yeah, Black Diamonds.
Diamonds. Yep.
Tour de Force.
Tour de Force. There was a whole bunch of them out of Northern California.
Absolutely right. Yeah, we all banged away with each other, and then we go to tournaments and bang away with each other there too.
Yeah.
But you know what? You look back at that too, Dirk. And we all played hard. Man, when we got on the field, it was on. Period. No matter who we were playing. But off the field, we all talked. We all shook each other's hand.
Yeah.
It was
it's respect. It's respect, and the fact of the matter is if you don't have those relationships and these people can get along off the field, then they never want to practice together, or against each other. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have that ability, and I mean, you just bottom line, you leave it on the field and off the field, it goes away. So you have to be able to do that. And
respect is a key word in that whole sentence.
Absolutely, absolutely. They're done. It's just like Kevin said. There seemed to be more respect back in the '90s when we were playing the original 10-mans. There just seems to be seemed to be a lot more respect, anyways. It's funny because you hear the kids talk about the ex-ballers talking about all the, the fighting and stuff that happened with the OG players, but I don't know that that's the case.
No, I
don't think that that's the case. Maybe
how many tournaments do we do back in the day? A lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
We traveled all over.
Yeah.
I mean, I traveled all over the world many times. I go to Europe 3 times, 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Come on, and we'd never go over there and fist fight with anybody.
No.
I mean, you might gripe a little bit, but everybody gripes. But they never came off swinging.
fucking back and forth stuff, but
It's a family show.
never, your hands never came. You know what
No.
I mean?
No.
Yeah,
No,
you're right.
I've never ever seen anybody put their hand on somebody else, ever. I mean, I witnessed a couple fights in my whole career, with teams, and those teams were put out instantly.
Yep.
But,
Absolutely right.
as far as people on my team and, people in my group that, or that I practiced with in Northern California, GBD, all the Southern California teams, over 8-9 years worth of playing paintball. It just never happened. A lot of arguments, a lot of cuss words, and your mom of this and your mom of that, but nobody put their hands on each other. It just didn't happen.
Absolutely right. You just give them a stink eye and move on, man.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it. So, Neil, tell me, you look like you were having a pretty good time out there. I don't think I ever looked at you one time you weren't smiling.
Yeah, look, it's I mean, I stopped coming to the States to play in the late 90s. I came home about 8 or 9 times through the 90s, and I just had enough. But when I got in contact with you guys and I came over last year, it was such a buzz. Catching up with people I hadn't seen since 92 or 94 or 95.
Wow.
Meeting new people. And then this year coming back, I mean, it was definitely a goal of mine to come back this year, and I did it. And just people I met last year. But even Jim Lively this year, I hadn't spoken to him since 94. And, he talked about the old times. But yeah, the people I met last year, talking about last year's fun we had. And it's just a highlight. Not just that, the actual field, Tim's field, it's I mean, for people that don't know, he's got his general field, but this is built for purpose, the tournament fields. And I know he wants to do more to them, but the car park, it's 7 minutes from the hotel, close to the airport. It's just fantastic. I mean, I can't wait to get an Australian team.
That's amazing.
Hopefully we can do that next year.
Yeah, that was absolutely great. One thing I hate, just like Toxic Teddy's, they got a place when we were in New York, and they were like an hour or something from the field. And I'm like, God, got to get up, drive an hour or something, and then drive an hour or something back, That's not for me, man. I like the motel was perfect, right to the field, no problem. The airport 6 minutes away, everything was cool about it. Yeah.
And there were a couple of issues last year with the first round, or the first round for St. Louis, and that got fixed. The air wasn't 4.5 last year. Who didn't get 4.5 this year? I think someone complained they got 4.3 or something. And it's get a bigger bottle. But Joe to bring up his air system, it was just fantastic. The air was great, and it's just a wonderful event. As I said, I can't wait to get an Australian team here. I hope people from other countries can come and visit. But again, more US people. I don't know why more US people don't try to come here. It's just an amazing event.
Well, we definitely love having you come here. And last year we made you a band member, which which was very, very good. And now this year, Kenny Chavez.
Kenny, the guy that can't say no.
Kenny Chavez, he was, I don't think he knew what to say. He was just stunned, man. But, he earned his spot. We put nothing but the best on the band. So, Dirk, when you finally retire, we'll probably drag you over this way.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So Kenny, overall, what do you think of the event? Did you have a good time? Because you were captain of the band too.
Yeah, it was a good time. We had a few people, as you know, couldn't make it last minute, so we were a little shorthanded. We picked up a guy named Caden. It was his 15th birthday.
Oh wow!
He'd never played paintball before on a tournament, and I think he'd only played paintball less than 5 times before that at all.
Yeah.
So we threw
Kenny,
him on there.
Is that the guy that you stole his tank off his son?
I did. Caden was a little new. I was trying to coach him, but we were already a little bit short. We had seven or 8 players throughout the weekend, which was no big deal. We still had a great time. But Caden was learning, and we're like, "Oh, you're going to play with the band," and he's like, "Oh, that's cool." And I think he was kind of disappointed because we were older. And I'm like, "Oh, that hopper on your gun, he made that, and this gun was made by him." And then he was super excited, and we got him signed autographs, we gave him jerseys, people gave him headbands. He even got a Hormesis headband from.
He was happy from Andy.
Oh yeah, yep.
Andy's son, yeah. So
yeah.
let me get this straight. You coached him, but you stole his tank.
Well, we had the
You like lulled him into this, or how did that work, man?
We had the last game of the event. It was on Sunday at noon, playing the band one, and so it was band on band, and we were confident band two was going to take band one, and it was going to be bragging rights. The end of that story is we completely lost.
It was close, though.
Yeah.
It was
close. But so Caden came over to my side of the field with me, and another guy that was helping us out, and the other guy didn't make it and to the corner, and so I did, and Caden did, and I look over, and Caden's kind of in the fetal position behind a wall, and I'm hollering to him to see what's going on, and he's really not talking, and then I'm trying to shoot to keep some of you band guys from coming over and annihilating us, and then he jumps in the bunker with me, and then he says, my gun doesn't work. And so I said, well, did you turn the hopper on? He said, I don't know. So I turned his hopper on. And I said, try now. And he said, still not shooting. I said, well, did you turn your air on? He says, I don't know how. So I grabbed his gun, and I went to hit the air check, and it didn't work. So I looked at his air tank, and he never filled up his air tank. He had 0 PSI in his tank.
That helps.
So I unscrewed my tank off my gun, and I took his off his gun and gave him my tank. And then I stood behind him and used him as a puppet. And I said, stand up. Now look over here. Now go down. Now tuck in here. Now shoot over there. And through all that, he did shoot Thomas Gee out. I said, but when you go out, I'm going to have to steal your gun, and you take my gun. So I'm going to keep playing. And would you believe Bart started sneaking around and shooting at us, and he did get Caden. And so I took his gun and started running at Bart. But I left my squeegee, and I broke a few balls on the run over. And it was more of a fast-paced walk waddle. But by the time I got there, by the time I got there, I was a new color of yellow from all the field paint. But
there you go.
It was a great time. It was a fantastic time, and he had a great time. I think he was super excited the whole week.
He did. And you know who else had a great time was his mother. His mother came up to me and was thanking us for letting him play with us. But I mean, she was on cloud 9 having her son out there doing that. It was very gratifying. I thought it was pretty cool because she was a very, very nice lady.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I pulled the flag in that one game, I look around, man, and everybody on my team that was there bailed on me because nobody wants to run it back. That's the only snag about being on the band.
Isn't that that's kind of reoccurring? That's kind of reoccurring for you, isn't it, Fred?
It is. And I walked it back, right? And I'm looking at the time. I got 15 seconds. And then I see everybody got their phones up. So the last 15 feet, I start jogging like I ran all the way back, But, man, yeah, that's funny, though. I just see, now that's a memory. Now that's something that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And that's one thing that I just so much love about paintball is all the memories and the people I get to meet. I never knew Jackie. This is the first time I met Jackie was at the tournament. And she just made such an impression on me. She was so bubbly and her smile and everything. And she just loved the sport of paintball, and that's why she's on here tonight. And Jackie, I'm going to have you on again too. Sometime when we can just flat talk about paintball, and I'll put another girl on with you too. So you don't feel so lonely and make all of us look bad. But, I just, I appreciate very much you coming on here tonight and, talking paintball with us. Yeah. I didn't want to dwell on what happened with the tournament. What I wanted to do is build on what really happened to all of us. And that was having a great, great time. And, Biff Thiel, he probably put it the best online. He said, the only part that was bad about the WCPL was having to leave all his friends when it was over. And I thought that was a pretty darn good quote, and it's like anticlimactic. You have such a great time. You're all souped up to get there. You have a great time. You're all souped up while you're there. And then boom, it's done. You're sitting in the airport waiting to go home. It's like wow.
With a gear bag full of the grossest laundry known to man.
Yeah. Did you have a safe trip home?
Oh yes, I drove from Green Bay to St. Louis and back, so I had lots of time to contemplate and
You live in Green Bay?
I do. Green Bay.
My
Wisconsin.
brother lives in Green Bay.
He picked a great place to live.
Yeah, it is too. That's where I was born. I'm a Wisconsin, so I was born there. But we used to call summer 3 months of bad sledding. 'Cause, I'm just not much into the snow part anymore. I just I like it at 80 degrees. But anyhow, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, my brother's up there in Green Bay. You a Packer fan?
You're kind of born into it. Like if you're born into a family that goes to
There
church
you
all
go.
the time, you just do it because it's the thing that you do.
What a great answer. I mean, my brother's underwear say Packers on it. Everything. You walk in his house, the lampshade, just everything is Packers, and I always tease him. I go, hey, what's your favorite team, man? And his wife will look at me like, what are you talking about? But that is so cool. Bill didn't do anything the whole tournament.
Nope.
Not at all. Boy, I like that compressor Joe brought down, Joe Schnelton.
Those old military compressors, he's got 8 of them.
Does he really?
Yeah.
That thing looked like it come over on the Mayflower, but man, did it pump some air. Holy
I think it was on one of the moon landings.
Yeah. No, it's too heavy to get up there. They didn't need like a double rocket to put that thing up there. No doubt about it.
They're on the moon.
Yeah. One thing I want to say real quick too is, at the very beginning of the WCPL season, Dirk got a hold of me and he told me, he says, Fred, he says, we're going to go ahead and we're going to commit to the WCPL this year. And you stood by what you said. You committed to the WCPL. And I think by you doing that, Dirk, I think you actually drew other teams in to come and play the WCPL. Because a lot of guys want to go kick your butt. That's how it works. That's pretty cool. But I just want you to know how much, being one of the owners of the WCPL, I appreciate you doing that. I think
not a problem.
very,
not
very
a problem
cool.
at all. And I think you're going to get a few more teams. Sorry about that. My cat's in the way.
Nah.
Yeah, I know of a couple teams that looks like the direction that they'll be going. So we'll see what happens. But there's definitely quite a bit of interest out there right now, and I think things are going in the right direction.
I do too.
And it's not about talking bad about other leagues or anything like that.
No, not at all.
It's not that. It's about something that's different. You know what I'm saying?
Tommy Cole, NXL, Tommy Cole and I've been friends for 30 some years. Same way, with Kevin, we've all known each other, and you too, Dirk, we've been friends for a long, long time. Just because he has a different league, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for him. It's very successful with the NXL. It
100%.
just is, we just have a different venue, what we want to do, and we're growing and people are understanding, you want to come here. It's not as much like a business as it is with the NXL, because back in the day when we played 15-man, it was a business. I don't care what anybody says. I'd go out there. I had all my sponsors watching me, my team depending on you, people watching, just everybody expected everything of you all the time. So now I go, and like I say, my win is getting to hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
The paintball part's a secondary part. But I just want you to know how much we appreciate you not only committing to the WCPL at the beginning of the year, but following through with it.
Yep.
That was very, very, very cool.
Not a problem. We had a good time doing it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, you guys played good. Don't you agree, Kev?
Oh, come on. I love the fact that these guys came on board. I mean, they've for a team that plays as hard as they do, takes the game as serious as they do, sometimes they're a pain in the ass, but they get what we're doing here. They're a high-level team that's come to play paintball and win, but without all the drama and the bullshit. I just wish that we could get more players to just respect each other and play more fair. I don't know why everybody has to push the goddamn envelope all the time and create problems.
I think that's coming around. I think each time we chip away a little here and a little there at it, I think people starting to understand what the series is all about, and do you come and play hard? Of course, but
it's also that, but it's also, when I left at the end of '98, things were making a big change and it was like they were dictating to us the way they wanted the game, where they wanted the game to go. You
Yep.
know, and I didn't like that. I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it. You know, I came back 6 years ago, and that's one of the things that I came back playing pump for fun. You know, and that was one of the things was a thought I had with myself was that if I'm going to do this and play again, I'm not going to have anybody dictate to me what it is that I'm going to, the format, 5-man, 10-man, whatever it is, on an airball field, whatever. I'm going to play what I want to play.
There
I'm
you
not
go.
going to have, and at whatever level I want to play, I'm not going to have the industry or the league or whatever it is dictate to me what it is that I have to play,
I agree.
So I'm the customer. It's my choice.
Right.
Yep. So we kind of run past our hour a little bit here. But what I'm going to do is you guys hang around the green room and we can shoot the bull a little bit in the green room.
Sounds good.
I'm going to start with you, Kenny. Kenny, I appreciate so much you taking the time to come on tonight. Kenny has General Paintball Museum. And this guy, you could blindfold him. He'll put a tip in together, take it apart, put it together, take it apart. The guy just knows his business up, down, and sideways. But Kenny, the reason I like linking up with you is your attitude towards the sport of paintball. I think it's absolutely terrific. So I'm still wondering why you moved to Michigan, where the snow is. But besides that, I think you're a great, great guy.
I know why he moved there.
I
He's
blame
got
my
his own
wife.
museum behind his house.
Yeah, that's right too. Built that, and plus Caesar's up there making pizzas now.
Yep, it's only an hour away.
Yeah, and he's actually putting together. When I talked to him the other day, he's looking at opening three more restaurants there. So
awesome.
Yeah, he was all turned about. He says, yeah, he says, me and my kid, he says, we're going to go see if we can't get a couple more buildings, and he was trying to buy a couple more. So he's pretty happy.
Awesome.
So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, Kenny. And like I say, one more time, I appreciate so much taking the time to come on here tonight, my friend.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys having me on, and it was obviously a great pleasure meeting all of you guys this past weekend and dealing with me having you sign everything, because I'm sure I got everything but Jackie. I didn't catch her for an autograph, but or Dirk. Sorry, Dirk. But
no problem. We'll do it next time.
That red banner disappeared. It's not in the museum. Don't look here. Fine. But yeah, again, I really appreciate everybody, and thanks for having me on.
My pleasure, my friend. And real quick, everybody, Kenny and Bill's show is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock their time, which is in the Central time zone, and 9 o'clock Eastern time. Am I correct?
Yep, that's it.
What are you talking about tomorrow night?
Private WCPL.
We're going to show a bunch of stuff that we acquired the last couple of weeks.
It wouldn't be a banner, would it?
We've got a big red banner now.
That's what I said. It wouldn't be a banner, would it?
Well, allegedly one of my players has that banner now. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wonder how that happened. Well.
Oh.
Amazing. Gotta love it.
Here's one thing we'll be showing. Thanks. Of course, you know what this is, Fred.
Well, wow.
Line SI.
That's a long barrel bushy, huh?
It was one of the Terminators.
Oh.
Yeah. And this was from Rob Novice. Yep. Very nice. Sweet.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. There's another one.
Very nice.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Gray
Very
Ghost.
nice. Yep.
So,
all right, Kenny. You stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks, everybody.
6
Take care,
o'clock
buddy.
time.
bye, Kenny.
All right, Kenny Stewart. What a terrific guy! I got to tell you, first class all the way, big time. Dirk, next, buddy. I appreciate so much taking the time to come on here tonight. I want to one more time. I want to congratulate you, not just on the win in St. Louis, but the overall win for the entire series. I think that was a very, very tough feat to do, and you did it just like you set out to do.
Well, thank you very much. Do appreciate it, and looking forward to a good next year.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you guys got to come back and defend your title now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's the
You guys-
plan, huh?
Yeah, you guys are the big dog now, so everybody goes after the big dog.
Yeah.
So
Looking forward to the challenge.
yeah, right on. Well, congratulations again, my friend. You stay safe and thanks a lot, Dirk.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right, brother.
Take care, Dirk.
Yeah.
Dirk Gadber, everybody. We go back a long ways. Great team, great guy. Everything about it's cool. Absolutely love it. So your next bear man.
Good, I'm
Yeah, he
tired.
knows who he is. Right on, Bill. Yeah, go ahead. Real quick, everybody. Just take a second here. Jackie number one story. I got to take. Let me mute you real quick here, so you don't.
I'm gonna.
So anyhow. You're number one with me too, buddy. Jackie, I had him on last year, right? And he has a bear skin. I mean, a real bear skin, a bear hide, right? So anyhow, the show's ending, and he's got this bear. He's got the head of it sitting on his shoulder, right? So I had Steve McGuire from Paintball Podcast up in Canada, and I had Bill on, right? So when the show's over, we say goodbye. Next thing I know, I'm reading online. Oh my God, that bear must be trained. It was on his shoulder. It was standing right next to him. And I'm like,
definitely a real
what's
bear.
talking about? Bill and Steve McGuire thought it was a real bear hanging there with them. Anyhow, you had to be there. It was hilarious. They were on the internet talking about that. And I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about, man?
He is so tough. He has a pet bear.
It was great. But I got to tell you, in their defense, it did look real.
It looked real. It blew my mind. I was the one that told Steve it was real.
Yeah, it did look real. Yeah, because it was sitting here like this on his shoulder, like it's standing behind him,
Bear to be on your head like that.
Yeah, and the show's over, and Bill's like, "Oh my God, that bear must be trained." Holy God. I love it. All right, Kevin, I appreciate so much you coming on here tonight, brother. You and I have been friends for a long time. Huh?
I'm not muted.
Oh, no, I unmuted you right away. As soon as you went back laughing, I figured you had enough.
That's all. Hey, look, you just learned something. All you have to do is let me see something that says I'm muted, and I shut the fuck up.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So I'm going to let's say goodbye to everybody. And again, I appreciate you coming on here tonight, brother.
Thanks for having me on, Freddie. Goodbye. Everybody out there, I don't know why we don't have comments. I apologize if I couldn't say hello to you. If you were at the event, I thank you so much. I mean, I hope I see you again next year. Everybody on this show, I'm sure I'll be talking to in the near future. Good night.
Right on, brother. Give Wendy a hug for me, huh?
Do the same with Sherry, Freddie.
Done deal, my
Thanks
friend.
for mailing me out at the airport yesterday, Fred. I appreciate it.
Oh, come on. I do that for a homeless person. You know that.
Oh, you did?
Anytime. Hey, real quick story. Okay, and you're going to like this, Jackie. I go pick Kev up at the airport and stuff. We go hang around for a couple hours because his flight wasn't taking off. So anyhow, I drop Kev off. I go take my rental car back. I come back. I walk in the airport. And here's Kevin sitting here with Red. Red had not. I mean, they canceled her flight, and the flight they were going to put her on got her home like at 3 a.m. or something.
Today sometime,
yeah. So Kevin went over and talked to the airlines and got her a ticket to get her home.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yep. So
I couldn't leave her in the airport like that, man. I just couldn't do it. Stop it, Freddie. I asked you not to tell anybody because I don't want people to think I'm nice.
Nobody heard me. Nobody heard me.
No, but I don't want people to get the wrong impression.
No, not at all. Not at all. And yeah, it is. Yeah, I appreciate you buying my next ticket too. I fly first class now, so be ready.
It took me 65 years to perfect being an asshole, and you ruined it in 30 seconds.
I love you, brother.
Love
all
you
right,
too.
you take it easy, my friend. All right, everybody else, Mr. Kevin Donaldson. What a great guy, longtime friend, big time. Jackie, I want to have you back on again sometime. I just I had to get the drama part out of the way, because so many people were expecting to hear about it. I couldn't get one comment. I got one comment said, "Hi, Fred," from Paul Farrell, and everything stopped. I couldn't get nothing else. So I don't know what happened. This thing locked up. It's just, it sucked. But anyhow, you were very good tonight, very articulate. I would love very much to have you come back on the show again. Maybe in the next few weeks, come back on.
I would love to do that. I love the paintball community, and I am so grateful for the opportunity to contribute in this way. So thank you so much for having me on here.
Well, you do real good. You do very good. You're very, very articulate, and
kind of a book nerd.
Yeah, I figure either you like reading books or you're sitting in a library. So, but actually both. Very cool. Well, I want to have you back on again. I want to thank you personally so much for taking the time to come on here tonight. I wish we'd had a little different issue, but we got that issue out of the way and we moved on to the better part. So
thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure. So let's say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
How you like Bill, cut and dry, huh? All right, Jackie, have a good evening, sweetie.
You too, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey,
all right, that was Jackie D.
Tim just called me and he said he wanted to thank everybody that made all this possible at the tournament this last weekend. So
yeah, you know what? He was going to call me when the show was on, but my phone's in the other room.
Yeah, that's what he was trying. He was like, Fred's not answering my call for some reason.
Because Fred doesn't have his phone here. I couldn't. Bill, we started the show. It doesn't show any viewers. It doesn't show. I only have one of the comments and everything froze.
There's a bunch on there, Fred.
Yeah. Shoot, I'll have to go look at my phone now. That sucks.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Yep. So, Neil, I appreciate you taking the time to jump on here with Bill. And Bill, that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool, Bill. That kid that came over. What's that?
Get me back on the show another time when I'm back home and I've got my setup.
Oh, would you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. It is work time, but I can make some time coming up.
Well, Marcus actually comes on in England, and it's like when my show's on, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning there.
It's about 11 a.m., I think.
Oh, then see, you'd be out of bed by then.
Yeah. I'll be out of bed. I'll be 6 hours into my working day. So, yeah.
I mean, I'd still be in my jammies, but what the heck, Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? I think that would be absolutely terrific to have you on there from Australia. If you could do that, stay in touch and we'll get that set up and we'll make that happen.
Yeah, cool.
Okay?
Yep.
Let's say goodbye to everybody and hang out in the green room. We'll talk in a minute.
See you guys.
See ya.
Cut and dry. 2 cut and dries. All right, everybody. That was Neil from Australia and Mr. William Bailey from Missouri. Pretty cool, huh? The guests I had tonight were absolutely terrific. I didn't want to bring up the subject of what happened at the WCPL because that's something I personally would like to end up forgetting. And maybe we can put all of this back together somewhere down the line here. But these guests that were on here tonight all were at that event. They seen exactly what happened. And they had fun before and they had fun afterwards. And to me, if you want to build paintball, that's what you got to do. Because, like I say, individually, we can all do something for paintball. There's no doubt. But collectively, we all work together. Man, we can do an awful lot for paintball. And that's actually what we need to do is keep working all together like that. And the people I had on here tonight, like most of the people I put on my show, I feel are so good for the sport of paintball and help build it. So until next week, next Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock Pacific time on Facebook on Flagpole Production. Please, everybody, play hard, play safe, play fair, but get out there and play paintball. All right? I'll see you guys next week. Bye now.